Well, what's going on, everyone? RC84 here, like always. Thanks for watching. So, my friends, check out what I have here on the RC workstation. This, my friends, is another piece of RC equipment here. This is the Volvo L260H RC wheel loader from EE. And this thing looks pretty sweet, and it has a lot of different features. First off, really cool thing is that they give you a nice little, well, they did give you a nice little handle to carry it in, but, yeah. Oh, well, hey, it doesn't really matter, right? Because, it's not going to stay in the box long, but anyway. So, but the box art is pretty awesome. Let's take a look at the top, because it has some of the features. We're going to talk about those. Look at it. Yeah, it's only on styrofoam, so you don't get a nice case like you do on the excavator there. But anyway, so we got fully proportional control, high power motors. I can't see exactly how many motors it has, but anyway, so we got full-wheel drive. We got a screw jack system, load capacity of 5 kilograms, a climbing degree of 35%. We got metal bucket with boom. We got metal differential gear. We got a metal planetary gear reduction. We got metal gears slash steel ball bearings, swinging rear axle, and a limited switch on it. I think that is all on the box. Oh, we got more over here on the side. Let's take a look at this. So we have bucket loading and unloading, up and down, open doors, open hood, 5 warning light mode, 2.4 gigahertz, high power horn, working lights, working sound, and a 7.4 volt lithium ion battery. So let's go ahead and get this thing out of the box, and let's take a look at this. What a beauty. This thing looks nice. We got a nice big bucket. Like, look how big this bucket really is. I mean, like, this fits on a whole hand. Metal bucket. All this is metal. The rest of it's really plastic and everything. But let's check out the tires. We got some nice grippy tires right there. We got a lot of different scale stuff on here. Windshield wipers, mirrors. We got LED lights. There's that little blinking light. Yeah. Now look, also again, a little figure. No, this actually did not come in here. Little guy did not come. That is something that I put in. But, you do have an open door that you can use. There you go. Pretty sweet. Take a look in the rear of it. You got some lights up here, some lights right there. And the cool thing about this front loader that I really like is it has a suspension system on it. That is pretty cool to find in a mid-grade, well, actually hobby grade, mid to hobby grade RC. All right. Looks pretty good. I mean, this thing, honest, it looks beautiful. So if we flip open the hatch here, this locates our battery, our speaker, and the on and off switch for the vehicle. So we have a 1200 milliamp 7.4 lithium ion battery, and I believe this is the SW3 connection on that battery. I will affirm that in the description down below. But a lot of really cool, amazing detail. Look, even you got a little toolbox right there. Let's turn this thing around. Oh, it does have a quite bit of weight to it as well. This is the other side. The door does not open on this side, so that's okay, But, we got the little mirrors, or a little air breather, steps. I mean, wow. It's got a lot. But just the size of that bucket alone is just crazy. But anyway, All right, so let's go ahead and talk about the other stuff. So we get our manual here, 1/16 scale, RC wheel loader, user manual, all the good features, stuff that you might want to read. We get a USB charger, bam, that thing. We got a screwdriver and the old wrench right there, tire wrench. And believe it or not, this is plastic. In all my years of being in the hobby, I've never saw a plastic winch before. That is crazy, but it's there. So we got that, and now we have the nifty remote control. Let's use the Volvo here to hold that for us. All right, so 2.4 gigahertz controller. This is like the one that the Volvo A40G dump truck has. Kind of basically the same controller. So we have our sticks out here. Your left stick is going to operate forward, backwards, left and right. And then, well, that's not going to work out too well. Then we got our right stick here, which is your boom up, boom down, curl your bucket in, out. And then we got some other switches down here. So we got one for sound, we got one for light, the warning light right there. We got one for lights off. We got 2 power buttons and 1 horn button right there. The rest of these other ones don't really do anything. There is some little toggles switches up here. They don't do anything. And on the back you have your on and off switch right there, along with the battery department tray, which you have to have 4 AA batteries. That's all you need to get this thing running. So with speaking of running, let's go ahead, throw in that battery. Well, it's already in there, but we'll go ahead, hook up the battery, and give it a little test run right here on the workstation. All right, so let's go ahead and fire this thing up. To do so, we got to hit this button and this button at the same time, and it will fire up. Nice little sound effects. We got our little LED lights on the front, our strobe lights there. Let's take the camera up a little closer for y'all. Lights in the rear. All right. Let's do away with that sound for just a little bit. So our beacon light, dual flashy, delay flash, solid, no flash, back to strobe. So, that's pretty cool. All right, let's turn the sound back on just for a brief moment, and we'll get back to it. All right, so let's go ahead. Sound on. Fix the camera. All right. We'll back up. Oh, that clicking sound. I don't know why. But anyway. Sound off. Okay. Turning pretty fast, I think, for being a stock. You know, one of my WL models front loader, one of those are stock, and it takes forever for it to turn. And I do have a modified motor in one for the turning, which turns pretty fast. But for out the box stock, it's pretty fast. And the turning looks great. I mean, that looks very sharp turning. Let's give it full throttle. Let's give it the beans. That's the beans. All right, let's get to a crawl. Very responsive on the throttle there. That's good. All the way down. Yeah. So yeah, let's grab the camera and go up to a closer view here. So one of the things that I do want to say on this vehicle, that yes, it is four-wheel drive. One of the other things about this is that the rear has a locking differential and the front is an open differential. Now the reason why the front is open is for turning. Anybody knows when all four wheels are locked, the turning radius kind of dies down a little bit. So this is open. But once some weight gets to it in the bucket there, apply some weight, it'll be four-wheel drive. Yeah, right? But sometimes you will find that that one tire will spin when it loses traction and stuff like that. So just kind of fair warning on that. So yeah. All right, so let's get, nice horn. All right, so discussed about that. So let's flip this thing to the side. It's pretty heavy. So looking at underneath, we got a motor right here that's going into the axle that drives this. All right, and then we got a motor back here, and that's where the swivel of the axle for this happens. So pretty cool little setup there. We got our little actuators and all that. All right, that thing is heavy. That's what she said, right? But anyway, so we talked about that. So that's out of the way. So I honestly think this is going to be a really cool vehicle to have out on the site. I mean, the bucket size is pretty big. It's also got a grading tip on it, so it's going to make it very easy for grading. And yeah, I mean, what else? But there you go, my friends. Hope that y'all enjoyed this video. If you did, smash that thumbs like button. I'll also leave a link where you can purchase this front loader and where you can get it at. And I think it's going to be just a really good vehicle for me to have on the site and retire all the oldies. But anyway, my friends, thanks again for watching, and I'll see y'all later.